Good evening. You are watching News Mongolia on MNB World. I am Jugdur Gambold. And for our top stories for today, more than 1 billion trees are severely affected by insect pests. 2 billion people from more than 190 countries in the world. Human Legend Dancing Festival is expanding its scope each year. For the news, stay with us. The legendary dance festival, organized with the purpose of making the art of dance accessible to the public and improving public movement activity, is held for the third year this year. The number of citizens participating in this three-day competition continues to increase.
This is Jatamba. He has worked at the law enforcement agency all his life, and now he is trying his hand in the area of art. He says that all his elements have disappeared since he started dancing. He shared that he has undergone major heart surgery in the past, but now he is happier and so much brighter.
I didn't know dance before. The reason why I chose dance is that when I was doing fitness yoga, I couldn't do it all the time. It wasn't a complete exercise for me. But dancing is easy with anyone wherever you go. That's why I chose the art of dance. Now my hands and feet no longer hurt. My heart hasn't hurt in the last 6 years. I didn't take any medicine and I didn't go to the hospital to see a doctor. Not only do we dance, but we also listen to beautiful old tunes. So one's brain also relaxes a lot.
A year ago, Jatamba and his partner won gold medals in 6 categories at the Human Legend Dance Festival. He also came to participate in this year's festival. You can see people like him who love this art and make dance an integral part of their life. They come from Ulaanbaatar city and from many other slums, but not all of them are professional athletes, but they fell in love with dance. I have been interested in dance since I was a child, and now I study dance more and more. Mongolian dance techniques are more serious. They show historical traditions and they show their feelings through their movements. Even if you are tired, I feel content when I dance. All dance enthusiasts can participate in this competition. Professional dancers are participating in the solo dance category. Jatamba and Sovtunchimik, their partners who love this art, come from far and wide. The future goal of this art festival is to make it an international festival and develop dance sports and public dance according to the international standards.
In Mongolia, forested areas occur in 90 zones of 11 provinces. When researching those areas of Mongolia, it was determined that in 60 zones, the forested area is affected by insect pests. Specifically, there are 2 main types of pest insects that occur in Seling, Arhanga, Khuvsku and Zahum provinces.
Experts say that if the pest control work is not done immediately in those areas, approximately 2 billion trees are in danger of being killed by those pests.
This year we have planned to take and implement appropriate measures in forested areas covering about 280,000 hectares. There are about 700 harmful insects that destroy forests in Mongolia, and these are all native insects to Mongolia. These insects are harmful to the trees. A tree that has been affected by insects for 3 years cannot recover. We must take measures to prevent this every year.
It is planned to spend about 1 billion Mongolian tugruks from the state budget and further 2.5 billion tugruks from local budgets towards the extermination of harmful insects. However, due to the wide distribution of these pests, an additional 8 billion Mongolian tugruks is needed.
The third Saturday of March is celebrated around the world as Earth Hour Day. In Mongolia, this day was celebrated on Saturday, the 25th of this month. Earth Hour is the largest global celebration related to climate change.
In 2007, the Australian Opera House and surrounding buildings turned off their lights, which is considered the start of Earth Hour. As of today, about 2 billion people from more than 190 countries around the world celebrated this day. And we are organizing this day with the aim of traveling to all the stations and learning how people can be environmentally friendly on a daily basis.
Due to its high protein content, camel's milk is very beneficial for human health and can cure a variety of diseases. In Mongolia province, a lot of people and communities are producing many kinds of interesting products using camel milk or camel wool.
These items are made by national heritage carriers. Symbol is an elderly woman who talks to people at the exhibition and explains her work. Even though she is 82 years old, she has successfully mastered many types of handicrafts, and she has made home belts and national robes using her own hands. Since I was a child, I spent a lot of time doing embroidery. My youngest son is an archery and master of sports. Then the family makes bows and arrows. One daughter is a music teacher and also enjoys sewing. My daughter said that she will make 100 children's passion sacks for the 100th anniversary of her son, so I prepared all the materials and cut them out. You can see a lot of interesting works in this exhibition. For example, many kinds of items such as felt craft, snuff craft, Mongolian national robes, decorative tools, and household goods, which preserve Mongolian history, culture, and customs were on display. The protein content of this milk is close to that of mother's milk. It is very useful in the treatment of diseases such as heart disease, blood vessels, and kidneys problem. It's important to build immunity. It is possible to produce many kinds of products such as yogurt curds, dried products, even some oil from this milk. We have the capacity to process about 1 ton of dairy products daily and have all the necessary laboratory equipment. Our factory has been established in the city of Даланзалгад of Mongolia province to carry out research in field of dairy products. The Gobi Milk Company produces many products with camel milk. In addition to producing all kinds of camel milk products, the factory is also working in establishing a camel farm in the future. The factory participated in the BEST project program organized by a non-governmental organization, Development Solution of the United States, and received a grant of 10 million Mongolian tugruks. Thus, the factory has bought the necessary equipments.
Please take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by the Central Bank of Mongolia. Now here comes foreign news partnered with international news agencies. Former Taiwan President Ma Ying-jeou Tuesday visited the city of Nanjing on Tuesday, where he paid respect to the mausoleum of Sun Yat-sen, founder of the Republic of China and the nationalist party Kuomintang, the opposition party in Taiwan.
Ma Ying-jeou arrived in mainland China on Monday in what he called an attempt to reduce tensions a day after Taiwan lost one of its remaining diplomatic partners to China. The ex-president is visiting in a private capacity, bringing a delegation of academics and college students for exchanges, as well as members of his family, but the trip is loaded with political meaning. Authorities implemented strict security measures on Ma's visit to make sure he is not seen by the local people. The Sun Yat-sen mausoleum in Nanjing was closed to the public on the morning of Tuesday, causing dissatisfaction from some tourists. Still, some expressed welcome to his visit. Ma's policies brought Taiwan and Beijing to their closest relationship ever, but his exit from an office was overshadowed by massive protests against a trade deal with the mainland, and his successor has focused on bolstering ties with the US and defending the autonomy of the democratically governed island that China claims as part of its own territory. Ma's visit comes amid rising tensions. Beijing had stepped up pressure against Taiwan in recent years, pushing its diplomatic allies while also sending military fighter jets flying toward the island on a near-daily basis. On Sunday, Honduras ended diplomatic relations, leaving Taiwan with only 13 countries that recognize it as a sovereign state. Ma is expected to tour the mainland from March 27 to April 7, stopping in Wuhan and Changsha, as well as other cities. He's bringing college students from Taiwan to meet with fellow students from Shanghai's Fudan University and Changsha's Hunan University.
Protesters lit fires in the streets and water canyons were called into the disperse the crowds as demonstrations were held in Tel Aviv on Monday.
For nearly 3 months, hundreds of thousands of people have taken to Israel's streets weekly to demonstrate against the proposals to overhaul the country's judiciary. The rally was the latest in 3 months of mass protests that have been held across Israel over Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's contentious judicial overhaul plan. On Monday, Netanyahu announced he was delaying the plan, saying he wanted to avoid civil war by making time to seek a compromise with political opponents. Netanyahu spoke after tens of thousands of people demonstrated outside the parliament building in Jerusalem. Dozens of protesters from rival sides faced off late Monday in central Tel Aviv. The sides kept apart by police exchanged insults, but there was no violence. Police used a water cannon to disperse anti-government protesters, while firefighters were seen extinguishing blazes lit in the streets. Striking a more conciliatory tone, Netanyahu said he was determined to pass a judicial reform, but called for an attempt to achieve broad consensus. The plan, coming as Netanyahu himself is on trial for corruption, has divided an already highly polarized country and galvanized a fractured opposition that was still reeling from defeat in November's elections, Israel's fifth in under 4 years.
Please take a look at the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll see you next time with more news and updates. Have a nice day.